As a high schooler, I think it's really easy to feel like you can't do anything, to feel helpless. And in these crazy times that we live in, from coronavirus and George Floyd's death and BLM overall and the riots that we have, I'm here to tell you that there's something that you can do. In fact, today's video is going to be the one thing that we think you can do as a high schooler to do something about all of this. And that is to come up with a white paper. A lot of people don't know what that is. A white paper is basically a policy proposal that you send in to your city representatives, your state representatives, any elected official who you believe has the power to change things. And in light of recent events, as well as the past several decades, if you will, of the civil rights movement, there's been a need to reform. And that all starts with policy. And in this particular day, I think we live in a time when police reform is the hot topic, and I think it's also the thing that needs to be done. Recently, police reform took place through policy, in that police officers now required to wear a body cam, and that allows for greater transparency. The public can see exactly what was going on. And I think that's a really good example of when policy was actually reformed and they had tangible results. And in fact, I think in a lot of instances, if the body cam wasn't there, the public would never have known what really would have happened. And the power of video, for instance, right, shed light on what happened with George Floyd in recent weeks. And because there was video to begin with, it really informed the public on what was right and obviously what was wrong. So what can you do as a high schooler? Well, the first step is to drafting a white paper or a policy proposal is to do some research. You need to figure out right now what exactly is police protocol, especially as it concerns use of force and use of violent force. One of the biggest issues that I think faces society today, especially in the US, is that most people don't know what police protocol is. And so while everyone is chanting for reform, from reforming exactly how police uses violent force to even defunding the police force entirely in place of a much more societal supportive role, I've found that most people don't know really much about police protocol to begin with. So I would say research police use of force protocol and find the holes. As someone who has a lot of friends in law enforcement myself, I've actually learned about a lot of those holes. And even though police officers are put in terrible situations, sometimes they're not. In the case of George Floyd, there was a terrible situation that was created out of not only poor judgment, but one can even say racism and even premeditated murder at some point. What are the protocol, and how should those be changed, right, for the future generations to come? And a couple of tips that I have is, contact your local police department if they're not willing to give that. I mean, ultimately, you are a taxpayer as much as everyone else is, and you're entitled to know exactly what their protocols are. Also, research what other people have been working on. Nancy Pelosi called on the Black Caucus recently to rewrite some policy proposals, and they recently came out with some. The Senate is also going to be coming out with their own in the near future. But in the meantime, I think the most powerful change that you can drive is not for the nation, but rather for your city. Cities are much more nimble to make change. It's much easier to change policy within your own city as opposed to, let's say, a constitution for a nation. So research, learn, and draft a policy proposal. I'm going to go ahead and leave a link right here so that you can find out some tips from Stanford's law school on how to exactly draft a white paper. And good luck. Let me know if you guys have any tips or would like any help. This is something that I'm actually going to be doing myself in the coming days. And till the next time, guys, drop a comment below, subscribe if you haven't already, and of course like and share this video if it was helpful. Good luck writing that white paper. I look forward to seeing what you guys have to say and what proposals you guys have to bring to the table. See you soon.